Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Team Help's January product support call. So glad that you're able to join us this evening. If you are catching the recording, we welcome you as well. I am Jo Stutzman, your host for the evening, and co-hosting with me tonight is my health partner, Michelle Hoy. Also joining us, our yes partner, stands for Your Essential Stories. And the one that's responsible for starting all of this awesomeness, Katrina Jones. So we're going to be talking to you tonight about enhanced wellness in 2019. We offer these calls once every month to support you, our team members and partners in this oily journey. Our goal is to provide you with tips and useful information to help you get the most out of your oils and products. Knowledge is power, but only if you use it. So we're sharing our knowledge and experiences with you so that you can utilize that as you would like. Many thanks to Michelle for creating another awesome PowerPoint for us to use again this evening to kind of guide us and keep us on track. So as I mentioned, we are talking about enhanced wellness in 2019. We'll talk about what that means and then give you a few ideas on how to achieve that in your life. We'll also talk about the awesome promos that doTERRA has for us this month that go right along with that. And we'll take questions throughout the call. Just type them into the chat, and Michelle will help me monitor that, right? So that we don't miss anybody. And then we'll have time at the end for comments and more questions. So Michelle, if you want to share the PowerPoint. I also want to mention that I am using some of Boyd Truman's material tonight. He is a presidential diamond with doTERRA, and he offers a wonderful training called Symphony of the Cells. I had the opportunity to take his training recently, and Michelle took it with me, and he had so much good information to offer, and I wanted to share it with you this evening. So, what does wellness mean? It's the state of being in good health, especially as an actively pursued goal. So does anyone have a wellness goal that they would like to share with us? You can type it in the chat or unmute yourself.
So do you want something very specific or in general?
It can be anything. It can be one thing. It can be two things. Whatever.
I feel like my in general health goal that's, I think, intensified as I've gotten older is that I just really want and desire to be strong and healthy and vibrant, vital in my life on through. I want to live to be 100 and I want to be vital. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be able to enjoy my grandchildren. So that really inspires me to just really care for myself in every way, because I want to honor that. And, you know, I don't want to be sitting around on a bench somewhere. I want to be out there in life, you know, active and involved.
Sure, absolutely. And that is an awesome one. Mine is to be more in touch with myself, to listen to my body, to listen to my inner being, to take time for myself for good self-care instead of always pushing myself to the back burner. I noticed that one of the things I tend to do is if I feel like I don't have a lot of time in a day, the first thing that goes is myself, my exercise or whatever, the time that I take for myself. So I want to do better at that. So that's my goal.
My goal is to get back on track with my weight loss goals so I can be healthier and more active, just as Katrina was saying. I don't want to feel like crud anymore. So that's where I'm at, and I'm started. This is why my appearance is not so nice today, because I worked out and then I came to this. So I've started working out more, and I started some of my small goals that I wanted to do was start doing yoga every day. And while I'm at work, and it doesn't matter how cold it is, because here in Iowa it gets pretty cold. As long as it's not raining and it's not snowing, I want to go outside and walk for at least half of my lunch period. So that's about a half hour. And so far, I've been doing that, and I feel amazing, even though I look kind of tired and cruddy from working out. But I feel really good. My body's kind of achy right now, but it'll be really sore tomorrow because I haven't worked out in forever. But I know I have some oils that'll help me with that, so I'm not worried.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you. That is good stuff for sure. And I think when you take the focus off of weight loss or a certain size or weight on the scale and focus on how you're feeling, the rest of it just all kind of falls into place. So, and I know Katrina and Shelby are doing this month on healthy from the inside out.
Yeah, living from the inside out.
Living from the inside out. So if you want more information on that, definitely check out their podcasts. Okay, why don't you go ahead, Michelle? I'm not sure how you set up the PowerPoint, so I'll just kind of, we'll start with this. So January promos, if you have any customers who, or if you are a customer who hasn't ordered in a while, 4 months to be exact, doTERRA has some awesome freebies for you. Katrina, do you want to talk about that?
Sorry, I muted myself so I didn't interrupt. You want me to mention just a couple of the oils or about the promos themselves?
You want to just talk about the promos and how somebody would go about getting that?
Okay. So with the January promos, we can start with the, gosh, my brain just went completely blank, reactivation campaign. For those that haven't ordered in a while, then, you know, like you said, if you haven't ordered in 4 months or longer, you actually can qualify to get a free Breathe, which is our respiratory support oil, which is really awesome. That's with 100 PV standard oil. Now, if you make that a loyalty rewards order, so you would be up, you know, probably starting that for the first time, you'd actually get the Breathe and On Guard together for free. Now, with free this month with our LRP orders, if they're over 125 PV and they're placed by the 15th, which this is every month, there's a free what we call POM or product of the month. And this month is grapefruit, which is perfect for what we're talking about with health goals. Because it's a beautiful oil for that we'll talk more about in a little while, but you'll get that for free. And if you make that loyalty rewards order, you've not, you know, as a reactivation campaign, you can actually qualify to get 3 or 4 oils if you follow all of the possibilities there, because frankincense is still being offered for free with a 200 PV order until the 15th of this month. So there's a lot of great freebies to get in on if you haven't ordered in a while. And then, of course, if you are a regular LRP orderer, you'd still, you know, you'd be able to get in on the grapefruit and potentially the frankincense as well. So great opportunities. I'm excited to get one more frankincense before this month is up. So good time to stock up on it.
Yes, for sure. So you're getting, just to kind of put it in perspective, I always like to throw some numbers out there. So with a
good idea.
200 PV order, the frankincense alone is a $70, $69.75. I just call it $70 oil. So you're getting that for free. Plus, if you are earning 30% back on your points, that is 60 points back. So if you take the 60 and the 70 and add them together, that's $130 of free product, and you deduct that off the 200, it makes it pretty cheap. So
yeah, well, plus you're adding in the grapefruit for free too.
And that's
another, I think, $13 or $14.
Yep.
So it's a lot of value. And if you did a 200 PV order on a reactivation campaign with the LRP, you're adding in a breathe in and on guard too. That's an extra 50. So lots of good deals here.
Yeah, so that's almost your whole 102. Well, it would be your whole 200 PV order for free, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the grapefruit and the Slim and Sassy. Go ahead, Michelle.
So I just did a single slide for each of the product of the month. Like, you know, you guys kind of talked about before, you earn a free, this is for anyone, earn a free 15 ml of frankincense by placing a single 200 PV order from the 1st to the 15th. So, and then we have grapefruit, which is our product of a month. And you get that if you do your 200 or 125. And then the 10% off this month is the Slim and Sassy, and that's a 15 ml. So, and that's good for the entire month of January.
Yes, thank you. And if you want more information on the frankincense, go check out our call that we did last month in December. We talked a lot about frankincense.
So I threw in this little slide because they released a new thing. So it is the Lifelong Vitality Pack in pouches. So it's all ready to go in a little pouch for you. So I just wanted to throw that in there as a mention. It is a little bit more money, I noticed, than the regular LLV pack. But I really think this is great. I know I work in home care, and a lot of our patients get their meds this way, and they love it. It's so easy to get their little pouch, and, you know, it's all ready to go.
Yep, I love it. And you can also add on, just like you would normally, you can add on the Terrazyme or whatever to this. So,
yes.
I may just
I would kind of like to see if you could do like a whole, like you put in your list and they put it in a pouch for you. These are everything you take. Please put it in a pouch.
Do a pre-order, pre-package. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Maybe one day they'll come up with that. I don't know.
Suggest it to them.
There we go.
Is that the only one you have on the Lifelong Vitality? Okay.
No, I started you here for your Boyd stuff, kind of.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that is perfect. So we're going to cover 3 of the most important things that you can do to enhance your physical wellness. LLV, Terrazyme, and citrus oils. Pretty simple, right? We're going to cover them more in depth in a minute. First, we're just going to cover some basics just to lay the foundation for our enhanced wellness topic this evening. So this might surprise you, but I'm going to start with water. What? Yes, water, and I will tell you why. Water is the driving force of all nature. When you think of cleansing, of purifying, what comes to mind? Water. Our bodies are what percent water? Does anyone know? Type it into the chat if you know what percent water your bodies are. I will give you a little hint. Okay, I'm just going to tell you. Newborns are 78%. Thank you, John. Yes, you were right. A 1-year-old is 65%. Adult men, 60%. Adult women, 55%. The elderly, 50%. In the 40% range is death. So why do you think that it keeps going down as we get older? Well, obviously because most people don't hydrate the way that they should. What happens when you don't hydrate? A lot of things don't work the way that they're supposed to work. Your body needs that to properly repair and restore. Also, if you would like to comment in the chat how much water you drink on a daily basis, just an approximate amount. A good rule of thumb that I try to follow is half of your body weight in ounces. So, as I mentioned, a lot of what I'm going to share with you came from Boyd Truman. So this isn't my stuff. This is from him. We are only as good as the fluids inside our body. When we have an injury, how fast we heal depends on how good the fluid is inside our body. What is the ratio of water? So if we're properly hydrated, we're going to heal faster. In a nutshell, that's what that means. We treat our body like some type of experimental mechanism rather than the electric water-based organism that it is. We are not mechanisms. Nerves feed organs and glands. Nerves start to shut down if they get too toxic. So then what happens? Organs and glands stop working. So a lot of that can be prevented through proper hydration. We consume a few hundred neurotoxins daily through our food, clothes, the air, gas, different things. What are two things living organisms must have to survive? Water and oxygen. Enter essential oils. They provide the oxygen in addition to what we get, the normal way. Lack of water equals lack of electricity, nutrition, and movement, and equals sickness. So as we age, it's not about the aging process. It's about what we're putting in our body. 70 to 80% of our immune system is held within our gut. If our digestive system isn't happy, then we're going to have problems. And I didn't realize this before, but digestive issues include eczema, which is simply dead nerve cells, rosacea, psoriasis, fatty liver causes psoriasis, and that could be from alcohol or fried foods, like foods that are fried in corn oil. You are what you eat, and your hair dye, and your lotion, and your soap, and everything else that you put on your body. They've found that autoimmune issues, 95% of people that have autoimmune issues are women, and that's probably maybe from putting more chemicals on our skin than men. So what can we do to, in addition to hydrating, what can we do to help keep our bodies healthy? Well, paying attention, like I said, to what we put in our bodies. Heating food actually changes the pH and makes it acidic. So it makes your body a feeding ground for disease. I didn't know that before. As Americans age, they get bigger. Why? Well, they're a storage facility for waste. Basically, you're taking in more than you're getting rid of, and so it just accumulates. The average American consumes 150 to 170 pounds of processed sugar yearly. Our bodies were not wired or plumbed to handle that much sugar. Sugar is one of the worst neurotoxins that there is. So processed foods make up 70% of the American diet. There's no live enzymes in processed foods. So what is our solution for that? Terrazyme. Terrazyme is enzymes that help break down the food that you do eat, supports healthy digestion and metabolic processes. It's pretty much straight protein directly to your system. Protein creates what we should have the most of in our body, collagen. I did not realize that, so that was interesting to me. Enzymes break down our food so that the body can utilize them, the nutrients, effectively and efficiently. And as is mentioned here in the slide, the body produces two kinds of enzymes, digestive and metabolic. More metabolic than digestive, so you need help with the digestive ones. Some foods that are harder to metabolize, rice, for the most part, for Caucasians. And I never thought about it this way either. It really does make a difference where in the world you grew up, or actually what race you are too. Because Caucasians do not handle rice like the Asians do. And so we have a harder time digesting it. A lot of us do. Now the Asians don't deal well with dairy. And that's something that's really hard for them to digest and causes a lot of issues for them. Interesting thing about dairy Science has cooked out the lactase, which acts as a natural counterbalance to lactose, thereby creating many lactose intolerant people. And what I'm talking about is the milk that you buy in the grocery store that's been homogenized and everything else pasteurized and whateverized until there's nothing really that good left in it. They've taken all the good stuff out. I actually have a client who used to be lactose intolerant, and after using the LLV and Terrazyme can now can eat dairy just like anybody else. And this person has been lactose intolerant their entire life. So that's quite a testament to the LLV and the Terrazyme. I actually have an avocado story. I used to eat avocados just fine, and then they started giving me really, really bad digestive issues. So bad, in fact, that I would be miserable for a couple hours after I ate it. So I stayed away from it for a while, and I kept doing the LLV and up the Terrazyme. And now I'm fine. I just discovered a couple months ago that I can eat avocados again. So yay, because it's an awesome fact. So the LLV detoxes. It's also full of antioxidants. Some people can't handle it though. So the alpha CRS is what helps with the detox and helps get rid of the junk. And so if you have someone that it makes you really sick, just don't take the alpha CRS, back off, and just use the other two, and definitely Terrazyme and citrus oils. And then you can use the Zendekin products like the complex and the soft gels to help with a little bit of, it's a little gentler of the cleansing process until you can work up to that alpha CRS. Turmeric is one of the new oils that doTERRA released. It accelerates cleansing. It's an expectorant. And you need to cleanse the endocrine system for the glands to function properly. So turmeric helps with that. Magnolia actually cleans the liver, taken internally. Helichrysum is good for nerve damage and liver function. Now, one word of caution for the extremely young, extremely old, and diseased should use 2/3 of a dose starting out. So it's always good to start slow and work your way into the full dose if you're not sure how your body's going to handle it. The E-Omega. So we talked about the alpha CRS a little bit. That's really good for detoxing. And it's also good for inflammation and pain, for energy, supporting energy. So the E-Omega, omegas are super important. If you haven't heard about that yet, they are absolutely essential for brain health, for heart health, and liver health. Omegas help with digestive too. You really cannot take, this is what Boyd said, he said you cannot overdose on omegas or enzymes. So, the recommended dose is 2 of each twice a day on the Lifelong Vitality. I've actually upped mine, the E-Omega and the VMZ, because I felt like my body needed more support. So I take an extra 1 of each of those in the evening. And I mean, you can do more than that. If you know that you're going to be, going through some extra stressful times or something, definitely supporting your body with extra of these is not going to hurt. Interesting note, people with higher rate of omega fatty acid consumption have a lower rate of depression. Omegas affect spinal fluid. Another new oil that doTERRA released, the Yarrow Palm, is a natural omega-5. So that's good for digestive, for nerve and heart health. Back to the enzymes a little bit. We did mention they assist with healthy nerve function. You can take 6 to 7 Terrazyme when dealing with severe allergy symptoms. The body can actually live for months off of water and enzymes alone, although I wouldn't recommend trying that. The VMZ also aids in digestion and nerve function. So that stands for vitamins and minerals. If you take the recommended dose of the LLV, you're getting 10 to 12 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And the essential oils that are in there. Yes, Katrina, go ahead.
I didn't want to interrupt, but I just wanted to share a quick testimony about the Terrazymes and the allergy issue, because when my son Toby was home from college, we've dealt with not kind of allergy issues, but more related to the skin. So he reacts, like with hives and things like that. And he's very careful about his diet and seen a lot of improvement. But when he was home, he decided to take me to the movies, and he had popcorn and pop and stuff that he doesn't normally have. And it as soon as we got home, he came and showed me his forearms were just like beating up with hives all the way up his arms. And he's like, I knew I shouldn't have done it, but and I don't get too detailed with him because he doesn't want to know about all this stuff, but I just handed him about two Terrazyme and then made up a shot glass of some oils to help. And I just, made him take it real quick. And within 15 minutes, they had already gone down, and he really noticed the difference. So, definitely the Terrazymes were something I didn't know for years, the vast way you can use them. And I would have never guessed for that, but it does make sense because the root of, symptoms like that, especially digestive allergies, are coming from the digestive system. So that, quicker that can be broken up and taken care of, the better. So anyways, I just thought that was super cool because that's just something I've learned in the last couple months.
Yeah, and even though we know that they work, it's always cool to see especially something working that fast. I know that whenever I travel, and everybody pretty much knows we travel a lot, Terrazyme is one thing I always make sure that I have plenty of. Always, always, always.
I have definitely gotten to where, because I've learned so much in the last year about them that I'm starting to, buy extra every month, not just like one to go with the LLV, but I'll get like 2 or 3 so that we have plenty, because they come in handy for so many, different things. So.
Yes, they do. That reminds me of an incident I had. Well, it didn't become an incident, but it could have. I was traveling with a friend of mine, and she is like deathly allergic to onions. I mean, to where if she even eats food that touched onions, like she might have to get rushed to the hospital. So we ate at this place, and there was, unbeknownst to us until we were halfway through it, onions in her salad. So she had already eaten some. And I was like, oh my goodness, I don't remember what state we were in. We were in another state. And I was like, okay, so I've got DigestZen and I have Terrazyme. So I gave those to her, and I had her take those, and she never had an issue. She was actually quite amazed herself that, she never had any problems with it. So I would that's definitely a staple, the Terrazyme.
Well, not to interrupt, but it just makes my mind kind of start realizing, putting a lot of dots together, because, quite possibly the rise in allergies and digestive allergies across our culture, and it is all the time now. I just have to wonder if it isn't related to the fact that we just eat so much more processed food and so much more junk, and we are not getting them, the enzymes naturally the way we used to. And so as a result, it's created this problem that people think they need a chemical to fix, and they don't. We just need to give our bodies more of what they were created to utilize in these situations. So it's kind of an interesting topic to kind of explore on that.
Yeah, for sure. And even if you're eating, I think most of us don't realize how many fruits and vegetables specifically, that you need to have. How many servings do you need to have on a daily basis to get the nutrients that you need? It's almost impossible to eat enough. vegetables.
Well,
to go
and
with.
then you add to the fact that the enzymatic activity doesn't happen till the last 6 days on the vine. And I'm not sure, even in the best grocery stores you're going to, a Whole Foods, no matter how good that produce looks, most of it's been picked long before that ripening process happened. Even if it's organic, it wasn't left on that vine. So really, just a lot of times the summertime is probably the time we're getting the most, and we're getting sunshine. So generally people are a lot healthier during the summertime. But then you could get into the argument about depleted soils and everything. But the big issue is that produce is picked so far ahead of time so that we can have so much at our fingertips. But it has this negative side effect, is that even if you are a vegetarian and your whole diet is vegetables, you're not getting the enzymes that maybe people did 60 years ago, 70 years ago, when we didn't have that kind of mass production and availability. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
So would you say, because I know that heating, and so that would even go for like canning your own food. And so we want to put things up so we have them to eat in the winter. So canning something, you have to heat it. So that's going to change.
Unfortunately, canning does destroy a lot of the enzymes. Now, a lot of there's some offset to that, is that while 50, 60, 100 years ago, and in a lot of cultures outside of the United States, they do can, but they also pickle a lot. And fermented foods, while they might not be huge in enzymes, they are also very high in antibacterial property, all kinds of active organisms and stuff that would help offset that. So I think that's it. Canning, as much as we like to prepare, and it did sustain people during the winter, because it was better than starving to death, that you definitely aren't going to get the nutrients and the enzymatic activity that you're going to get from fresh stuff.
Right. But it's still better than buying it from the store. So.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Okay. So if anybody has any more questions on Terrazyme, feel free to message one of us or post it in the group. That was a lot, I know. So a little bit about the VMZ. Well, actually, we covered it with the whole fruits and vegetables. Oh, I was going to say that the essential oils that doTERRA adds in to the VMZ and the E-Omega, and they all have essential oils in them, it helps your body to absorb the rest of it even better. So that's what makes our vitamins so powerful and so effective, is that synergy of the essential oils with all that good stuff. There was a chart they shared with us at convention that if you were to go out and try to purchase all the ingredients in the Lifelong Vitality separately, so like the vegetables and everything, to get the same nutritional value, you would spend $900. So that kind of puts it in perspective, as far as, sometimes we might think that $79.50 is a lot for a pack of vitamins, but when you realize all that you're getting with it every month and what it would take you to go and find that on your own, all those ingredients separately, we're getting a really, really good deal.
And the level of quality too. I, for years before doTERRA, just in an effort, that ongoing goal of trying to be healthy, you'd hear of these things and you'd run to Walmart or GNC and pick, you'd isolate different things that you had heard about, coenzyme Q10 and all this stuff. And, you can spend, even for the cheap stuff, at least $30 or $40 on one bottle of one nutrient. So, and that was crap, going back, I understand it was crap. So what we get for $79 is amazing. And really, how much is your health worth to you? And then feeling really good, and just really feeling good. So that's totally worth it to me.
having that quality of life that you were talking about, to be able to play with your grandkids and,
Mhm.
and do the things.
And the
that you wanna do.
confidence of what I'm giving. So Sammy's been on this for years, and he's 15 and he had neurological issues and all that. The confidence that I feel as a mom, knowing I'm giving him the very best chance, and the very best, and he feels it. If we've run out, we've had a few months where like there was a gap week, between me getting my order in and getting it. And he at 15 even felt the difference. So, and even, Dr. Hill talks about how important this foundation is for the oils to work their very best. If you're not getting that nutritional foundation and then you try to take oils, you're going to see some improvement, but they have to work 10 times harder because there's such a deficit there in your functions. So to be able to give them and I love the fact that it's so well-rounded and well-balanced, like everything you need, but it's not overdone. It's not underdone. It's just right. It's like Goldilocks. It's just right.
Yeah, for sure. And so definitely you don't have to have if you don't need like the Deep Blue, the polyphenol complex, if you don't need the Mito 2 Max, if you don't need to add that in, but definitely the very, very basic, at the very minimum, I would do the LLV, the Terrazyme, and the PB Assist.
Yeah. You're going to see, if you have pain issues, you're going to see a lot of improvement after being consistent with the LLV for a month. And if, after you've taken it a month or two, you feel like you still need a little bit, maybe you've got more severe type of pain type of issues, then that would be a good reason to add in the Deep Blue. Or maybe if you need extra heart support, because you specifically have dealt with heart issues, honestly, the Deep Blue polyphenol complex is incredible for that, because polyphenols are very powerful on the heart and blood flow and all of that kind of thing. So, for most of us, unless you have severe issues, that baseline is going to be great. But it's awesome to be able to have those extra products if you need them.
For sure. Yeah. And one other thing I wanted to mention too is pink pepper is another new oil that doTERRA released. It is also great for a digestive and neurological aid. Super powerful. In fact, it is a really great companion to the DDR Prime for supporting a lot of the body systems. Some of the...
And just remember that the pink pepper too, think of it as pink. So what do we think of in our culture with the pink ribbons? That's really targeted towards that. So when he was talking about working, utilizing it with the DDR Prime, because it has similar properties that really help with that cellular health, and specifically targeted towards women's health and different women's issues related to that. I don't know how specific we can get, but I'm just saying, if you have a pink ribbon, or of someone that needs a pink ribbon, then pink pepper is a good oil to add in.
I love that. Yes, that's making it very clear without actually coming out and saying the words. So, okay. So the other thing that he mentioned was drinking citrus oils daily. Citrus oils have limonene. Oh my goodness, that is perfect, Michelle. Absolutely perfect. So what
I tried to find one that had a picture of every doTERRA citrus oil on it, but I couldn't. I just was with these four.
This is perfect. Yes. So your citrus options, some of them are pictured here: tangerine, lemon, lime, grapefruit, free product this month, green mandarin, which is a new addition, and wild orange. We have a lot more citrus than what we used to. So the oils that have the highest limonene content. Now, what does limonene do? It balances the pH levels in the body. We keep talking about balanced pH levels this evening. So why is that so important? Well, because disease cannot live in a pH balanced environment. So drinking citrus oils in your water, and if you can't get enough, Boyd Truman kind of takes it the other way. We always talk about less is more, and he's talking about like if you're dealing with specific issues outside of just normal maintenance for your health, okay? Don't be afraid to up the dosage. You know, he was talking about 5 drops of each in a veggie cap of different things for specific protocols. So if you can't get enough in your water, if 1 or 2 drops is enough and you're still drinking, you know, the proper amount of water every day, take some in a veggie cap. There's nothing wrong. It's not going to hurt anything. So the ones that are the highest in limonene content at more than 95% are tangerine, grapefruit, and wild orange. So take advantage of that free grapefruit this month. In closing, this is a quote from Boyd: 50% of what ails you will go bye-bye with LLV, Terrazyme, and citrus oils. So it's pretty basic, a pretty easy thing to start with. Obviously, there's a lot more things that you can add in. But if you're just starting off, or maybe you've had the oils for a while and you want to be healthier, but you're not sure where to start, this is a good place to start. And if all you can start with is the citrus, then start doing the citrus in your water every day and add in the other things as you can. So, did you have some more slides, Michelle, or was that it?
Yeah, I have some other stuff.
Okay, let's see it.
I put this lovely picture here of 2 great things that you can take. The PB Assist and the GX Assist. I can't read what I wrote on the picture because my thing was in the way of the words. A powerful combination to cleanse the body and promote positive bacterial growth. So, in the new kits, if you order a kit, you get a little booklet that has great stuff. In the very back of that booklet is a cleanse and restore program. I'm not sure. You don't take these together,
Correct.
right?
That is correct. Yes.
So you start with the GX Assist for 10 days, I think, in the program, and then you do the PB Assist for, I think, 10 days. And then you can take the probiotic daily. It's a great way to kind of assist in getting everything cleaned out.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
back to healthy.
Yes. And I always recommend to people that they do the vitamins for sure a month before they try to do any kind of a cleanse. Just to establish that good foundation before you start. You're already flooding your body with really, really, really good things, like the best quality you can find. And so that's going to make an adjustment. You're going to have to, or your body's going to have to kind of adjust to that. And so you don't want to throw too many things at once at it. So I would even probably go 2 months before I would do the cleanse. And then it's a very gentle cleanse. It's not, you don't need to be next to the bathroom all day. But it's gentle, but it's very effective. So, and yeah, definitely I take the PB Assist as a maintenance. It's just really good to keep that good bacteria.
Yeah, and the interesting word about all of this that helps make it simple is everything's about balancing everything in your body. And when we get problems is when one type of bacteria that is not beneficial to us gets out of control and everything's out of balance. So when we take these things, that everything we're doing with the oils, with the supplements, with the cleanse, it's all about reestablishing balance on every system of the body. So our bacterial levels to be back in balance. That's when everything starts running smoothly. That's homeostasis. It's all about balance. Where usually everything's out of whack. So that's kind of and you're right, taking a Lifelong Vitality in and of itself, if you've not been taking it, will be a first step of a cleanse, a little bit of a cleanse as you start that, especially if you're using the citrus oils first. And that's a great rule of thumb, Joe, to just establish that for a couple months before you do something like this.
Yeah, for sure. And this drinking the citrus oils is going to help to cleanse all that out too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
what else?
One other thing I saw on Boyd's Facebook group, I think it was in the Symphony of the Cells Facebook group. He has a free printout that you can use with the Cleanse and Restore kit and the stuff that the Symphony of the Cells protocols
Okay.
and
Very
so
cool.
I was like, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're not in that group, go get in that group, find that thing. If you guys want to try a Cleanse and Restore, I'm definitely gonna print it off and I'm gonna try it. So
And
I'll let you know how my
okay. And I'm going to throw this in too. The Yarrow Palm I know it personally, I've experienced it and I've seen where other people have too. It also cleanses. So if you're thinking about taking the Yarrow Palm internally, you might want to start off with just 2 drops in a capsule a day before you up it, because it does really do some cleansing. So just wanted to throw that out there too. And they're actually currently out of stock. Can you guys believe that? The Yarrow Palm is out of stock right now. If you do not have it in your LRP template, you'll have to wait. They expect to have it back in 7 to 10 days. But yeah, if you've already ordered it, you're going to get it. But if you don't have it in your LRP and you haven't ordered yet this month, you'll have to wait a bit. Go ahead, Michelle.
And then I just kind of threw this slide in there because it's also the Zendocrine you can get in the Cleanse and Restore kit. I just wanted to throw a quick picture. And then I know you guys talked about the Deep Blue complex a little bit. My other favorite for when I'm trying to get healthy, which I kind of thought it applied here, so I wanted to throw it in, was the Mito 2 Max. Just gives you a great little boost and assists and, kind of getting you back on track with, especially if you're incorporating any kind of exercise into this.
For sure.
Getting healthy.
Yes, and I thought about talking about that, and I'm like, I could go off on a whole nother tangent because Mito 2 Max, it does give you energy and stamina, not the kind that you're used to with energy drinks. Because it is natural, it's more of a subtle energy boost, but it also really supports the adrenal system. So it's really, really helpful for more than just energy. And that's what I love about these products. It's not just for one specific thing. They work on a lot of different levels. So thanks for throwing that in there.
Just 2 things. So I'm thinking of so people, maybe you don't realize that your adrenals need supported, but if you do put your body under a lot of stress, which exercise is stress. So if you do a lot of stress, then over time you can deplete your adrenals. So Mito 2 Max is awesome for that. But if you're under a lot of emotional stress, so maybe you're not somebody that necessarily it's about exercise stress, but maybe you've been under a lot of emotional stress for a long period of time. You will find yourself getting really tired and worn out easily. Your emotions really begin to slide. Mito 2 Max can really support you emotionally that way as well, and being consistent with it over time, because a lot of times we want to take these things and we want a quick fix, but it's taken us, years of not taking care of ourselves or being in high stress situations. So we have to be realistic that it takes time to kind of reestablish, those normal levels in our body. And I know too, have you guys tried it all? I've seen a protocol floating around since convention about supporting weight loss. And I know Mito 2 Max was in that, DDR Prime, Pink Pepper, Yarrow Palm. and I can't remember if there was one more oil in
Turmeric.
that.
Turmeric.
Turmeric, that's right. Has anyone tried that?
I have, but not with the DDR Prime. I didn't have the DDR Prime in there. I just did the turmeric, yarrow palm, pink pepper, black pepper, and
Okay.
green mandarin. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't like stepped on a scale
Okay.
as far as to know if that. So the big thing with that is supporting hormone balance, which if your hormones are out of whack, it could be why you struggle with weight. So if your hormones are out of balance, I'm sure that would work. Like the one gal lost 25 pounds in a month. So obviously she needed to have her hormones balanced.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to hurt you either way.
Right. Okay.
But
I just was curious about that. I saw that floating around and then just was wondering if anybody had tried it.
I haven't seen the 25-pound weight loss in a month.
Okay. Probably not the norm.
Probably not, yeah.
Not the healthy norm.
But I do feel like my hormones have been balanced. I've seen some really tremendous improvement in my monthly cycles with pain and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like apparently there was some hormone balancing that needed to happen.
Okay.
So yeah, tremendously helpful for that. I saw that with just taking the yarrow palm and turmeric internally.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What else do you have for us, Michelle?
I just put down a couple of resources that you kind of had on last month's. I didn't know if you wanted me to add Boyd's Symphony of Selves on there or not. I saw Katrina added that in the chat box, so.
Yes. Perfect.
But
yeah, and so our next product support call will be February 12th. Perfect. More than likely, we're going to be sharing some DIYs. So it'll be right before Valentine's Day if anybody celebrates that. We don't that much, but I know that a lot of people do. So we will accommodate the ones that do with a few. I know that we have some really simple DIY recipes for that. Also wanted to let you know that our builder call is next Tuesday, the 15th at the same time, 7:30 p.m. And that is to support any of you who are sharing the oils or doing doTERRA as a business. We want to support you in your goals, so be sure to join us for that. I didn't see any questions in the chat. Does anyone have any closing comments or questions that they want to add? Glad you could make it on, Sandy. Oh, you're sideways. All right, well, if nobody has anything, I'm going to end the recording. Thank you again to everyone who joined us, and we look forward to seeing you next month.